Warning: the Chaotic Culture Podcast is a program for mature audiences. The language and content presented in this podcast is of a mature nature that some audiences may not find suitable. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Embrace the culture, blaze the doja, grab your loved ones and bring them closer. Extra, extra, read the poster, the KKP is taking over. Sleeping on me, better smell the Folgers. I've been razor sharp since the Motorola. Off for O, like the cover Oprah. Popping bottles, feet all in the sofa. It's a celebration, though the times is hard. It's raining blessings, give it up to God. Chaotic culture, the greatest pod. With Keah the Pro, the one in charge. But it's a celebration, times is hard. It's raining blessings, give it up to God. Chaotic culture, the greatest pod. With Keah the Pro, the one in charge.
We're living in a chaotic culture. 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 Oh, we're living in a chaotic culture. 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 Oh, we're living in a chaotic culture. 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 Oh, we're living in a chaotic culture. We're living in a chaotic culture. We're living in a chaotic culture. We're living in a chaotic culture.
Okay. I think we're good. It's not freezing, it's not stopping, so I think it just took a little bit for my computer to warm up.
It's all good.
Yeah,
I'm warmed up too now.
Hey.
And buzzed.
off damn MD 2020 of all things.
Finally got chaotic culture and the session coming together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's been a year in making.
Right. It really has been about a year in the making. And initially we were supposed to do for WrestleMania, but we just never got around to it. So here we are watching WrestleMania Backlash, which I would never get why they had to do that and just not keep the name as Backlash. But I'm not a part of WWE management. I know it's branding. It's
unnecessary.
Right, very. As if the name, as if
in your house.
Right.
I mean, we have a whole faction named after our old pay-per-view anyway, Judgment Day. So I mean, like
WrestleMania. Perfection.
Yes.
All right.
let's go ahead and hit these intros before we get like do like we did with the practice round.
Yeah, indeed. And it's crazy. He'll never be featured on that because it's lost in the sauce. He got lucky on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and do my intro first. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast, the pod where chaos rules and black culture is elevated and embraced. This podcast will deep dive into modern black culture and how millennials and Gen Z can navigate the crazy parts from finances, music, black business highlights, home ownership, HBCU, sports, black nerddom, anime, wrestling. We cover all that and everything in between. Live from the 7-5, I am the host and the creator of the Chaotic Culture Podcast, your boy Keah the Pro, a.k.a. the Calculated Millennial, the Cutlass Diamond, a.k.a. don't be pushing all my buttons in my cutlass unless you cut. Shout out to Big Crit, a.k.a. your favorite toxic adjacent king, always chaotic, never toxic on most days. Back again, once again, for your favorite black culture highlights and favorite black culture shenanigans. With me today, I'm going to let them do their intro, but we finally got together and did an episode that we've been talking about for the year, and the session with Jae and Trey, we finally got together, we finally got it going, so I'm going to go ahead and let them do their intro.
We got the toxic adjacent king with the toxic kings. This is about to be a very interesting combination.
Long night.
Oh, man.
What's good, everybody, and welcome to the Session Podcast. I am Jay from the great state of GA, drinking MD 2020, and he is.
And this is your boy Trey from the VA, and we back part 2, and we're going to hit you with this special because this is a double feature right here. We got the Chaotic Culture Podcast with our boy Keah the Pro, and then we got, the session with Trey from the VA and Jay from the great state of Georgia, featuring our special guest. You know him before. You heard us reference him as the man behind the camera. We got Showboat Davis here with us today.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank the dope fiends for keeping me in business.
And then off camera, running the other camera, we got a beautiful Miss KDMOFO. From the 99 to the 2000s, from the 504 to the 75. Welcome.
She says hello.
Welcome.
For those of y'all who are listening to this for the first time, once again, we just appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you to all of our followers and subscribers out there. We definitely appreciate y'all coming through and doing, listening to this double feature that we about to do. I'm not like them. I'm over here just drinking a Bud Light seltzer. They over here drinking, and I'm gonna say the official name. They're drinking Mogan David 2020, better known as Mad Dog. Yes, I will forever give it his government name just because I've had a few bad nights with MD 2020 back in college. I wanted to relive them days. I don't know if my body can handle that, but I mean.
So let me just tell y'all how this adventure came about. On Thursday, we were just sitting here, and I get a phone call. And, me and Jay talk almost on a daily basis. And, he calls, and he's like, yo, I have a bad idea, but a good one. I said, what's up? He said, y'all drink MD 2020 up in Virginia? I said, bro, I had plenty of bad nights off of that. He said, let's get one each and pod and drink the whole thing on the pod. So we about halfway through. So
Toxic.
I'm halfway through.
At the bottom.
Jay is nearing the bottom. So
I'm still
in the
at
words
50.
of my
Still at 50.
my co-host, I feel like he's gonna be dropping 30.
Nah. 30 assists.
30 assists.
30 assists.
Triple double.
Yo, we gotta look. I'm learning some things from chaotic culture over here. I just want y'all to know. He got a whole script written over his intro. He got a whole setup. And we sitting here, we just two niggas with a mic. We just free ball out here.
Hey, for the longest, man, I was free balling too, bro. And then I was like, you know what?
Oh, we got one down.
Jay finished.
And it's down.
We the ones.
Damn it. Gotta catch up.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this, obviously, we are actually watching, again, we're watching WrestleMania Backlash, and at the moment, the six-man
main
tag,
event.
the main event with the Bloodline, a.k.a. the Tribal Chief, and Roman Reigns, who is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion.
And the ones.
And then, yes, and of course, his cousins, the Usos, they are in a six-man tag versus RK Bro, who are the Raw Tag Team Champions, and Drew McIntyre. So this ought to be an interesting match, considering that initially it was supposed to be a unification match for the Tag Team Championships, but I guess Vince McMahon got cold feet because they told him it was a bad idea. So, this is where we at now. This ought to be interesting because this hopefully puts Drew back into the main event scene. And who knows how much longer Roman has to wrestle, because I know that he's been thinking about going into Hollywood.
Yeah, going into Hollywood. He said something last night. He said when he was did a house show in Rhode Island, he said he don't know if this might be the last time he come out here. So like his, let's talk about that. His contract is up April 2023. No date.
That probably means that WrestleMania is going to be his farewell. So
Against The Rock.
Yeah.
I don't know. My only thing with that is it couldn't be a title match.
nah,
He'll probably drop the titles before it then.
Right.
yeah, he'll probably either drop it. There's a chance to either drop it at SummerSlam or a chance to drop it probably at Royal Rumble. But either way, that's just crazy that this run that he has is the longest running Universal Champion.
And he's finally over.
Yes.
with everybody.
But I think we said in the beginning that Buddy should have been when the face turn was going bad. I'm like, yo, he needs to turn heel, something serious. Like he works better either as a heel or just as a badass babyface. Like, don't give him this weak shit that he was getting. But they didn't listen until finally COVID happened, and he's went away for a few months, got his teeth fixed and all that, and then came back.
He got them shits off of Amazon. They ain't fixed. He got veneers.
Yeah, but he ain't got the big goofy looking ones.
Right.
I'm about to say pure white.
My boy came back and it's just been on an absolute tear for the last 2 years.
Yo, is it bad that I may or may not want that new RK Bro shirt that came out on the 20th of April?
Bad.
You said it's bad?
Bad.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Bad.
Keah, we got to clear the cart.
He said it's not too late. Go ahead and just take it off.
I know it says it's 40% off tonight, but we'll just order it by accident.
Do they still have any Bloodline shirts? That's what I'm wondering.
Man, I got mine.
Got mine.
I need to get mine before it's too late.
Nah, they still selling too. I think they're still the top merch.
So you're saying they're gonna be gone soon?
Probably.
All right, so just for the people, partly, honestly, for me. Can y'all explain this whole Amber Heard thing? Because I'm seeing all these memes about her pooping on a bed, and I don't quite
have been
understand
following this. So basically, a few years ago, they went to court. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, they went to court about domestic abuse. Even though there wasn't enough definite like evidence to convict Johnny Depp, basically the case went in Amber Heard's favor. But part of the agreement was that she would never publicly discuss him and that in that manner. Couple of years ago, back in 2018, she dropped an op-ed about domestic abuse and talked about him, and it violated what they discussed. So now he's countersuing her for defamation of character. And what's happening is all the stuff that she said he did to her is turning out she did to him. And even the stuff that she's trying to say, her stories are not matching up. She's lying left and right. Her lawyers don't know what's going on.
So she abused him?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
she's punched.
I saw on Twitter they was saying something about.
Bro, there's a clip.
She was saying something about some makeup she was wearing, and then the company jumped in and was like, "Dog, we weren't even invented at that time."
Nah, the worst thing that was the voice recording that came out was she said, "Go ahead, Johnny. Tell them what jury in America is going to believe that you, a man, is being abused by a woman."
It's on tape.
Yes,
it's on tape.
She shot in his bed because he left her.
Dog.
What?
Wait a minute. Like she squatted on the bed, or
yes, how he told it was that they got in an argument. She punched him in the face. He was like, he was like, "Are you gonna hit me again?" And then she punched him again. He was like, he sat her down. He said, "I'm leaving. Don't follow me." So he walked out. So she apparently went out to Coachella. See, I've been really following this.
She went to Coachella?
She went to Coachella. And so he was like, he contacted his bodyguard and was like, "Yo, is this a good time for me to come by the crib and get my shit? Because she's out of town." He said, "Actually, it's not a good time right now." And then he was like, "This is the perfect time. She's not there. Why can't I come get my shit?" And then he basically said, "Well, because she shit in your shit." So she on his side of the bed, as he said, he sent him a picture. And on his side of the bed, there was human fecal matter.
Dog.
And which leads to our first question of this toxic king / toxic adjacent king crossover. What is something that will make you mad enough
That's what
to
I was about
shit
to say.
on somebody's
How
bed?
long you would
Yes.
have to be mad to pull that off?
Bro, I just imagine you literally had to sit there and squat because, what position can you get in on a bed? Because first of all,
That's what I was thinking. Maybe she
That
put it in
could
the toilet and just scooped it out and put it in.
That, you can't do it without it getting on you.
right?
Did she wipe afterwards?
These are questions that
When
I
she
don't want to
watching
know the
TV.
answer to.
Rich, I'm pretty sure there's a video.
Is there a bidet in the bed? What?
She was watching America's Funniest Home Videos.
happened?
And
She
laughed
probably
and
did
she
this
shat
shit
in
watching
bed.
Pirates of the Caribbean too. Fuck that
Could you
nigga.
imagine how the documentary is gonna go on this? when they get to the scene where she's dropping a tooth right there in my man's bed.
She was just flipping through TV and every channel had a movie of his on. She's like, fuck that nigga. Put shit on his bed.
Yo,
and the bad part is, here's the next question. So apparently she did it the night he left, right? She stayed in that house.
what the shit?
So she sleep
Next to the shit.
next to her shit.
Yo,
I don't know about y'all, but I don't sleep and stay still. So at some point in the night, did she roll over? It was like, shit, my shit. Like
I would think the responsible person would like go sleep on the couch or something.
And also, how far from the pillows was it? Because if she's sleeping with a head near that, like it.
And it's their
Yeah,
house. And it was their house, not just his house.
I think nasty. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like it's her bed
Like,
just
yeah.
as much as it's his bed.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Disgusting.
Like
Absolutely.
like most
disgusting.
people, like that has to be our melanin deficient people's ways of doing things. Because black people will key cars, bust the windows out of them.
but think about it. When you don't take the trash out after 2 days and how it smell, like, imagine poop being in the bed.
Like all I can keep thinking is like, what could I do to Keah to piss her off that badly?
Yeah, but it's your bed too. Wouldn't that piss you off that now it's poop in your bed?
But the bad part
you paid
was-
money for them sheets.
But the
Right.
thing, but the thing that really
I'm sure Johnny Depp ain't sleeping on 203 count sheets.
But you know what's
With
funny?
his ass, he would never besmirch his
that-
butt cheeks.
But you know what the funny
to
thing
be on
was?
500 count
He
sheets.
said he
that is
responded.
Egyptian cotton.
He responded by laughing because, like, throughout this man's like testimonies, he keeps saying like different houses that this man has. So, first of all, because this one was called Penthouse 6, which means that there's a penthouse 1 through 5.
Yo.
So, the fact that he
Okay,
said,
Batman.
That dude, man.
Johnny said
man.
he left that house, traveled 10 minutes down the road to go to his other house.
He got multiple houses in the same city.
He got a neighborhood.
in the same neighborhood.
He got a neighborhood, bro.
What am I doing wrong?
He's like, you know what? It's cool. I'll stay next door.
Meanwhile, they look at me like I'm a bitch in the locker room begging for Thanksgiving leftovers.
That's literally meaning I'll buy the neighbor's house if they complain about my noise.
I have to check my account to get a soda out the vending machine. And this man's not pissed about someone shit in his bed because he has beds.
Right.
Beds,
Oh my God.
houses.
Yo, everybody doing this Rhea Ripley pen. Like, I don't need to see Roman Reigns propping his leg up on another grown man after there's multiple times of him on record saying, I'ma smash him just like I smashed John Cena. Just like I smashed Brock Lesnar.
Hey yo.
And he know what he doing. That's the bad part. Because the Usos confirmed that Roman. Alright, so
Roman be trolling to be trolling, bro.
All right, so I got a question.
uh-huh.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm supposed to say
figured
you.
it out. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I-
I'm gonna stare you in
Light
the eyes
bulb.
while I say this.
Oh, this weird. Okay. I'm a drink.
Hey,
This
yo.
sound awkward.
Is there a market for men on OnlyFans posting feet pictures?
I know why
I
this
don't wanna
conversation's
think about
coming up.
Because I finally put two and two together.
I know why
But at
this
the
coming-
same time, I'm asking for myself.
I know why this comes.
Like, I mean, now don't get me wrong. I don't really put lotion on them bad boys unless like I have to show them. But when I lotion them bad boys up, they ain't bad. Like, could I be making
I'm
money
about
off
to say,
of
I
this?
had pretty feet for a nigga.
But could we make
I
money?
don't.
Is this something we can make
I do
money off
not.
of?
Kia, you being the resident woman.
I feel like he is not the one subscribing to male feet pictures. So that's probably not a good target
Most
audience.
women,
it'd be
most women I
somebody.
know,
Yeah, but men
most-
feet is people out here looking at men feet.
most women I know don't like feet.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait a
like,
minute. Are we generalizing?
That's why I said most women I know.
I will say most women that I know, well, when it comes to male feet, they don't want to go nowhere near them things.
Like,
But-
Kia's sister don't like her own feet being near her,
I've heard multiple people say that.
which is weird.
But if there is
you
a
really think
market,
of it.
please let us know.
I'm about to say-
And We'll put some Crisco on these feet.
So OnlyFans, if you want to sponsor us.
That's them too.
Oh yeah, you're not. We regularly
toxic adjacent here.
Once again,
we don't.
Yeah, we would definitely oil these bad boys.
I'm about
up.
to say.
We're not talking about showing anything other than feet here.
And we'd even get some session socks to take off before we show. Yeah, we might be on to something.
Some merch.
Hashtag toxic adjacent.
I can already see where this episode is going, ladies and gentlemen.
Session socks, a collab.
AJ, you've listened to us. You know what this
I'm
is
already
about.
knowing, bro. I'm already
Everybody
knowing.
wears socks now.
I'm
Ladies and
already knowing, man.
Everybody
The
wears
Black
socks.
Val Venuses.
Yo, we should get socks with our faces on them.
Now that would be
Put
interesting.
you
Hey.
on the left foot, me on the right. Well, me on the left foot, you on the right, because I'm left-handed.
So I'm the right hand man. So you automatically. Oh, okay. So
Man,
Keah.
and Trey Rawls. You know we gotta say a name on every pod.
But it wasn't me this time. So, ladies, if you want to see session feet,
Hey, yo.
Ruining his podcast. I love it.
Hey, nah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
All right,
we talk about some
Let's
crazy
get out of
shit.
here. Let's get out of here. He said something about anime. All right, what you watch? What you watching now? I'm looking for some
You
recommendations.
said what I'm watching now?
Yeah.
Love After World Domination is one.
Okay.
Spy Family.
I've been
which-
hearing a lot of good things about Spy Family.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really wholesome. I'm trying to think of some newer ones that I've been watching on top of that. I will say the Rising of the Shield here, a lot of the fans or a lot of the people that I talk to, they've been disappointed with it. I'm a little disappointed, but it's not like, okay, I'm not going to watch this ever again. I still enjoy watching it, and that's just personally me. You know, I personally like the Rising of Shield hero, but that really just depends. So I would always watch it because, like, if you haven't seen it, the first 6 episodes are just absolutely crazy, and then kind of dies down and follows the normal isekai flow. And for those who know what isekai is, it's of course the person getting transported to a magical world trope. So
Okay. I didn't know what it was. Glad you broke it down.
yes, sir. So
Okay.
I would definitely say that those are some that we're watching that are like new right now. I have a lot of anime that I have to catch up with because the winter anime, for whatever reason, I fell off of hard. But I've still been watching a few ones. If you haven't seen like My Dress Up Darling, this is not an action anime, by the way. So My Dress Up Darling is strictly slice of life / ecchi, because there are some jokes in there that'll be like, oh, wait a minute now, it's getting a little on the on that side.
What you watching that on?
Crunchyroll now, but yeah, initially it was on Funimation, but now Crunchyroll, and I had Verve, but I'm getting ready to delete that because everything's on Crunchyroll, and
I need to start watching
But that's the
Crunchyroll
thing.
again.
When I had Crunchyroll, I had a hard time finding a lot of stuff that wasn't, because I'm telling you now, I am not reading subtitles. So if it ain't in dubs, I ain't gonna watch it.
no, I feel that, bro.
But I have Funimation, so that's why I was asking if it was.
Yeah, well, see, Crunchyroll bought Funimation.
Word.
Or rather, Sony bought Crunchyroll, and in turn, they bought
They want
Funimation.
all
So it's just like, yeah, so they've merged their libraries now.
Okay, so pretty much whatever I'm watching on one, I can find on the other.
Yeah, but I think everything's going to be like moved off of Crunchyroll everything's going to be moved off of Funimation onto Crunchyroll.
So I might need to get the subscription.
Yeah, man. I'm a Crunchyroll subscriber, so I was like, it was coming anyway. Oh, Claymore.
I feel that. I just finished Kuroko's Basketball. I really fell in love with that show, dog.
I am actually watching that on Netflix now because for the longest, you know, I had started watching and then I fell off and then I got back into it. I'm like, you know what? This is, you know, if you want to call it head assery in basketball, it really is. But
It really is.
you can't help but get into it.
Right. They no, I really like it. I just finished it. I didn't really think I would like it at first, but I'm a basketball fan. So just in watching it, there was just some cool stuff happening. That's what drew me into it. But right now, I'm in that space to where you're trying to find something to fall into, but everything you watch, you just kind of like, okay, this ain't bad, but this really ain't drawing me in like the last thing that I watched. So that's kind of where I am right now, because everybody keeps trying to get me to watch Attack on Titan, but I just can't get into it.
I still don't understand how you can't get
I'm
into
on
Attack on
season
Titan, bro.
2, and everybody's like, oh yeah, so you seeing it heat up? And I'm like, no, I'm not. It's still boring. There's still a lot of talking. There's still a whole lot of big naked people trying to eat people. I'm just not into it, dog. Like, I'm trying. I really am trying. But I'm just not into this show at all. I'm not. I started One Piece over again because I missed a lot of stuff. And I wish I wouldn't have did that because I was on like episode 400 and something. But I fell asleep and missed like 30 episodes. And I have no idea what's happening. So I started over. But I've come to the consensus I'm never going to finish that show. It's 1,000 and some episodes.
And I will say that with One Piece, I tried to hold it off as much as I possibly could. But now
One Piece of filler.
It's a good show, though, man.
So what I've done instead of watching it is that I've started reading it. And I started all the way back from the very beginning. Because I remember when I first started One Piece, where I stopped was during the Alabasta arc. I couldn't get through it.
That's where I was, yeah.
And then finally I was like, you know what, I'm just going to read it. And even reading it was such a drag, but I finally got through it. So now I'm at Skypiea. So I'm just like, all right, at this point, they tell me, yeah, once you get to Skypiea, it just gets easier. So I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. I'm in the middle of the 200s, so it's like I got a while to go before I can get to chapter, I think. They're on 1048 or something.
Trying to catch up.
I got to. I really like the show. I like
I've
Luffy,
given up
man.
on trying
Luffy's
to catch up
like
on that one.
my favorite anime character. And then I got to catch up on My Hero as well because that's my other show.
I would read My Hero. And I'm saying that as somebody who watches and reads My Hero.
I'll be back.
Yep. But as someone who watches both My Hero and reads My Hero, like the manga is so much more detailed than the anime, and it's so much. It just seems like the anime dials down a lot of the violence.
Right.
So, and I guess they're trying to keep it a kid's show, but it's like you can still do that and not dial down as much of the violence as as you're doing. But that's just me personally. Obviously, a lot of the anime or a lot of the manga are actually taking a break right now because I believe it's a Japanese holiday going on.
Right.
So, but yeah, there's that. And whenever Jay gets back, also, let him know about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes, I heard wonderful things about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes. If you haven't seen it, please watch and read it. That anime, what it does is, like the shonen tropes, it just kind of turns them on their head. And it's like the things that you might see in regular shonen, like you might see in Naruto, or you might see in one of the big three like One Piece or Bleach, and completely flips it on his head. And it doesn't, and he's not going to do it long. Gege, I think, said that he's going to, or they, because we really don't know if it's a he or a she, but they said that they are going to, I guess, finish within the next year or so. So it's going to be short, but yeah, where it is right now, for anime wise, you're going to love it, and then it's going to get real dark real fast. So pay attention to that. Chainsaw Man is also a good one to get into. That one should be coming out in the fall. So if you haven't seen Chainsaw Man, and there's also Hell's Paradise, which my friends have said that they were going to send me the link for the Hell's Paradise manga because it's not on any of the major sites. So there's that. But yeah, those are some of the anime and manga that I've been reading. Of course, there are others as well. If you are listening and of course need some recommendations, definitely hit me up because we got them. We definitely got them.
I need y'all can judge me later, but I'm finally going to start Demon Slayer because I've heard wonderful things about it.
Hey, bro, I'm not judging you.
I haven't started watching it yet. Like,
yeah, it's the visual for Demon Slayer, bro, will blow your mind, bro. The animation is absolutely crazy. The story is
ain't the villain Michael Jackson?
Yes. Oh yes. The main villain. I wouldn't call
Michael Jackson adjacent.
Yeah. Yes. Very much so. Michael Jackson adjacent. When you watch the anime, you'll get an idea of what the main villain is like. And
I saw a fight scene on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like because I saw, I think the girl, whatever. Spoiler alert, but the girl when she went into her demon form. And people were sexualizing this 12-year-old, but we're not gonna talk about that. But like that fight sequence.
Yeah, it's And that's why for Tanjiro's sister, like Nezuko, like if you are not in middle school or a high school, you should not feel any kind of way towards her. Like
she's 12.
Yes, please. It's like, and
16 at that point, right?
I think she's 16 at the end.
Yeah.
I get it, but I don't follow into that crowd. So. Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't gotten a chance to actually like watch it, yeah, I definitely recommend it. The visuals are absolutely phenomenal.
My students have been telling me about it. They're like, "You get on it." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. I've read it as well. I finally finished it. I mean, and the finish is it's okay. You know, a lot of people were mad at the finish. I was like, I'm not.
Oh, so it's
upset.
done.
Yeah, the manga's done.
How far off is the manga from the anime?
There's like 2 more arcs.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Wow,
The
they
Bloodline
gave the Bloodline to win.
Yes, the ones.
Who you pinned? Riddle?
Yeah, he pinned Riddle. He speared him. That I wasn't expecting. But then again, after the multiple RKOs that Randy gave, I kind of figured that the Bloodline may win this, but I was not expecting Riddle to eat the pin. But now it makes sense that he would be the one to eat the
I'm
pin.
about to say he's the one he's probably the one. He has the one that's least to lose.
Yeah.
Because the Usos are the longest reigning tag team champions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roman's the longest leading, and he hasn't had a loss since 20.
Well, he hasn't been pinned or submitted since I guess for the last couple years.
He has not been pinned or submitted since he's come back from remission.
Yeah. Nope. Because he technically did take an L to Seth Rollins because that was disqualification.
Yeah.
So. But I was.
Superman, can we talk about finishers or signature moves that don't seem like they'll be effective?
Yeah.
Yes.
Superman punch seems like a very roundabout way just to punch somebody in the face. And it's too much room for error. That seems like it's very easy to if somebody, you don't see niggas in the hood Superman punching people that when you're in a fight.
No.
You really don't.
No, you don't.
There's too many things that can go wrong.
1, you're airborne.
Yes.
2, you're wide open.
Let's see. Rear end is another one. Naomi's, the rear ender or whatever.
Yeah, the rear end. Yeah, I guess that's just her signature move now because
Vince likes her butt and wanted her to knock butts against people. That's all that was.
Yeah.
There is no way that you can convince me that the rear end can knock anybody out.
Yeah, shoot. While we on the subject, let's talk about ineffective finishers, bro. Or weak finishers. I'm gonna pick on Hulk Hogan because he deserves it.
Leg drop.
That
leg drop.
Leg drop, bro. Like that shit is terrible.
I put it up there with Jericho's new finisher.
Oh, the Judas Effect.
The Judas Effect. Yeah,
one of the worst finishes.
It's just a spinning elbow.
Or the best finisher, John Cena's. What was that
Five-knuckle
punch?
shuffle.
Five-knuckle shuffle.
No, not the five-knuckle shuffle. That super punch that he did. That little.
Oh, when he did that film that was in China and shit, and he came back. I forgot the name of that shit, but
because he crossed his arms, charged up, and then just
bow. Yep, and that was it. That was weak as hell too. Shit, man. Anything that's like a spinning back fist or anything, I'm not really too who had a discus forearm? Well, like anything that resembles like a forearm, like if it doesn't look like it's gonna wreck you.
So phenomenal forearm.
I think phenomenal forearm is okay. I prefer the Styles Clash, but I think phenomenal forearm is actually okay just because of the dramatics that go into him springboarding on the top of the ropes and then winding up like a Superman
but that
punch.
also looks like it hurts. Like if someone really did that to you.
Yeah, it looked like it would actually hurt.
I'm going to be real with you, and maybe I'll feel differently if somebody actually did it to me, but there's no way you can convince me that the people's elbow hurts.
It does.
Or keeps you down. Keeps you down for 3.
Down and I drop my elbow with all my weight on top of your chest. You really don't think that would hurt?
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, but for a finisher though, like because
I get
that
what
was
you're
his second.
saying.
That was
I'm
his
just saying,
second
like,
finisher.
Yeah.
That shit also does seem like it would hurt.
It would hurt, but I feel like that's a setup. Like that
Like,
seems like how the five knuckle
The
shuck full.
zigzag seems like it does not hurt. Like, and I say that because if you watch him do the move, his arm is around the back of your head, so your head isn't even really hitting the ground.
Yeah.
That move Bray Wyatt used to do, Sister Abigail does not look like.
Nah,
it
you
hurts.
brought on your face on that one.
Dog. When he twists, your head is hitting his arm.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way that he does it is he's protecting you, so
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it's the most fatal move ever.
Also, like when Triple H started doing the pedigree later in his career, when
After
you
they
see
corrected
one
it?
knee would go down first, it was like, I don't know.
Well, them knee surgeries, you got to protect them.
I will.
no, I
No,
understand
it was
that.
because people they got sued for the pedigree because people were
getting hurt?
Yeah. Now, I know I'm gonna regret saying this because I know you're gonna say, "See if we can do this." But Braun Strowman's running power slam.
Nah, that was a weak.
That was a weak finisher.
Well, yeah, I think his is more for the dramatics as well because he, lifts you up into a gorilla press and then drops you down into the power slam. But I'm like, bro, your dad and your uncle's moves look like they are more devastating than that. Like, I'd rather you come off the top rope and do a bulldog or do the Steiner recliner, which you did to win your first NXT championship. So, why not go back to that? But I mean, I understand he wants to be different than his dad and his uncle, obviously.
But sometimes you gotta lean into it until you're over. Like that's my thing. Like even if like because what that finisher seemed like, it was just like shit. Vince told me I need to have a finisher by today, and I don't have nothing.
Well, yeah, in terms of Braun Strowman, then or Adam Scherr, yes, I think so. I think for Braun Breaker, I guess my comment was just that because again he is trying to be dramatic and whatnot. Because I mean, if you look at his dad and his uncle, they're the Steiners. So, but
I hope they don't ruin him because I feel like he's gonna be moved to the main roster very soon.
Very quickly, because his original last name was Steiner. So
Him and what's the girl Lion? That pins people with a split.
oh, you talking about Nikita Lyons?
She's gonna be moved up quick.
Oh, I have no doubt. The fans love her. Fans are like, you see all the nicknames that she done got.
And the Usos brother,
Solo Sikoa.
I really was hoping he was gonna get that North American title.
Yeah, there's still a chance for him too. But yeah, he's going to be moved up fairly quickly too, especially
He
because
doesn't want to because he wants to do his own thing. He doesn't want to be associated with the bloodline.
Yeah, that's the only
I
problem.
would really, but because like if he gets brought up to that main.
well, he should have went to New Japan.
Well,
Or like his other family member and go to MLW and do things there. But
Here's my thing. I feel like if you need more things for Roman to do right now, like I would even expand the bloodline to NXT. I feel like that'd be the smartest thing. Have him in the picture for the NXT title, so that their whole family be running everything.
That is a interesting perspective, and I, honestly, I'm not against that idea either. But as he said, he wanted to kind of do his own thing, so it's like, alrighty then, well.
But NXT is about to become a very stressful place because NXT, they've announced like when it comes to those big roster cuts that always happen in April, they're gonna be cutting people regularly from NXT.
Also, now they're gonna make it even more frequent than they usually do.
And so, because what they want to do is that, like, if they're not like, so say they get bumped up from the performance center, right? So say I'm a wrestler, I get bumped up from the performance center to be on NXT. Once I get on TV, the fans aren't really getting into me, all that stuff. So like once you're like your first few months, it's like this is your trial. I'm not gonna waste money on you and send you back to performance center if you can't get it right when you just came out of there. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut you straight out. But I kind of like that idea because, like, knock on wood, we have not had any major main roster cuts in a minute. So.
But then again, you never know how he thinks because time to time, it's a roster cut.
I really feel like people who are going to be next include Cedric Alexander,
And I really wish he would get more time, man, because the man can really go in the ring.
I hate to say it, Apollo Crews.
Him too, man.
I really feel like people are saying they're really happy to see Mustafa back on TV. I really feel like that Vince is trying to embarrass him. I feel like he wants to give him hope that they're utilizing him again and then cut him. Mm-hmm. I really feel like because Vince and him do not like each other.
And he's been said that he wants out. And he wants to go to where he can actually be him.
And Vince is petty.
Exactly.
Oh, very, very. I would be very surprised if they decide to actually give Ali an actual push and not punish him. I already knew, like, when I saw the handicap match this past Raw, I was like, oh, yeah, he's getting embarrassed again. I already know it.
Vince fired somebody for smiling during the filming of the scene. Remember when his limo blew up in the early 2000s? I forgot the dude's name. He fired him because he was smiling during that shot. And everybody else had, like, this straight face. And he got fired for that.
Yeah, that's
Vince
nice.
McMahon, from the bottom of my heart, even though you created WWE, you're a bitch.
Yeah, he is absolutely a
bitch.
petty human
He's a
being.
bitch. I would never say it to his face because this man can still leg press 1,000 pounds at 76. But like,
trust me, he'll forget about it in about 5 minutes the way he looked at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking when he decided, he was gonna insert himself into that. I was like, Vince, bro, this ain't 1999 anymore. This ain't 2006 anymore, bro. You are 76. Like, you really cannot take any more bumps.
I'm being real though. I did appreciate that, like that whole WrestleMania. Like, even though it's like one of those moments, like when you see, like when you were in school, right? Your teacher might not be able to do the dance, but the fact that they tried, everybody hyped. Mm-hmm. That's how I view Vince. Like, it was fucking hilarious. But, like, I really did appreciate that moment because I felt like I was reliving part of my childhood.
I'll give you that. I really wish it wouldn't have been a match. I just think that maybe he could have just embarrassed him afterwards and just been like, all right, I'm gonna kick your ass and teach you a lesson, and then have Stone Cold come out to finish it off. But the fact that we got a match out of it, I think that's the only thing that irked me about that entire WrestleMania weekend.
Well, that's what the original plan was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be Austin Theory at all. But here's my thing. So you mean to convince me that the guy that you're supposed to be training, like pushing to be your next big guy after Roman, you mean to tell me that he couldn't beat the commentator and you could?
Yeah, that's
ridiculous. And he did it old man style.
And,
literally.
Right. And like the thing, like one thing we keep, like Pat McAfee won that match clean. Like it wasn't no trickery. It was a clean, and he looked good in the match. There has been, like, between him, Bad Bunny, and Paul Logan, and it pains me to say about Paul Logan, but they looked fucking amazing, and they went better than some of the fucking current talent out there right now.
It's funny that you mentioned that because, when I first saw Pat McAfee in a match on NXT, I was like, okay, I know he's a fan, but I don't know, like, I didn't have any expectations. And this was War Games, but he completely blew me out of the water. I'm like, oh, this man can go in the ring. All right, bet. So when they said that he was going to have a match, I already knew. I'm like, okay, so he's not going to disappoint because he's been training. He knows what to do. He's actually a fan of wrestling, so he has an idea of what he wants to do, and he knows what he can and cannot do in the ring. But the man still, he really surprised me.
And when he did the match at WrestleMania, I'm always used to him being the heel role because he does that perfectly. So for him to do it as a face, which didn't go over so well in NXT, I was surprised it went well then, But then again, Austin Theory kind of sold it to get him over.
And I think part of the reason why it didn't go so well over in NXT is because they just loved Adam Cole too much. No matter what role Adam Cole was in, it is just like, I think they recognized, okay, right now Adam Cole is a tweener,
Yeah.
So we gotta make this guy heel and get heel heat on him.
But that's
I
Adam
really
Cole,
wanna
baby.
Like Austin. I really want to like Austin Theory. I really do, but I just can't. I can't get like. There's something about that selfie thing annoys me. I think that's what it is.
It's the character. I think
The character annoys me. I can't get with the character. Like
him as a professional and him as a wrestler. Like I've seen what he's done in the ring outside of WWE when he was in Evolve. Of course, when you get to WWE, you have to tone down your moveset. But like some of the moves that he was doing in the ring beforehand, I was just like, yo, he gonna be a star. But yeah, the character that he has right now, it's just like, I don't know, man.
Like it's like if he wins, it's not a clean win. If he loses, he goes whines to Vince and gets his way anyway. So it's just
like that last handicap match. I was like,
yeah, he's definitely got the
why?
spoiled brat role, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that.
he is a early 2000s Stephanie McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
or is he The Rock when he first joined the corporation?
Yeah, very, very, very astute point.
Randy Orton on Evolution too.
Yep.
Yeah.
They say when they got their guy, they gonna push him as much as possible, especially if they're starting out as heels. That's gonna look like favoritism.
I just don't see him. I don't see Austin Theory doesn't have that look of the guy of WWE. He gives me that person that's gonna always be in the United States or Intercontinental Championship picture. Like he's a great mid-card champion.
Or he might be that guy that anytime they need somebody to just fill in for a little bit as the heavyweight champ, they just throw the belt on him until
To
the
give
guy
him
that
a
they
run.
want. Yeah, until the guy that they want to have the belt comes up or gets healthy, and then they get it to him.
So y'all think he's like a transition champ? Like
He's a Miz.
he could fit. Okay. Interesting.
I don't see him like really look at your top stars. He's not gonna beat Bobby Lashley. He's not gonna beat Drew McIntyre. He's not gonna beat Roman. He's not gonna beat Edge. He's not gonna beat Brock Lesnar. Fuck no.
No.
Not gonna beat Brock Lesnar.
Not believably anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I can see him running with like people like Damian Priest, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, who needs to get a United States title before he retires again. But like there's a lot of people like I can the top star, the most top star I can see him beat is maybe Matt Riddle. And that would be because he grabbed the tights or something like that.
Interesting point. I kind of see him as a transition champ as well. I don't see him being the guy to carry WWE because in my mind, after Roman, I've already said that it's gonna be Braun Breaker. Like they would be foolish not to make him the one to carry. You said Cody. I mean,
Cody.
yeah, I think Cody too.
Yeah, Cody. They're gonna do it because his dad never had that belt. So Cody, I see him getting that.
I see for faces, I can see Cody. I don't know if he's going to be a face, but I'm pretty sure they're billing him to be one. Gabriel Stevenson. I feel like he's going to be one. Braun Breaker. As far as heels, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Like, Seth Rollins deserves one.
Shoot. And Seth Rollins is really one of those people you can put in any role.
I'm about to say, if you need him to lose, he'll make it look good. If you need him, Seth is one, I didn't realize it. I always thought that I liked Roman more than Seth, when I was watching The Shield. But, Seth is up there. Roman is my favorite current star. Because between his in-ring, his personality, his mic work now.
Yes.
He's great. But, Seth is a very close second.
Yeah, see, Seth has that thing where he can sell the match. Not everybody
he's
had
current
that.
day Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, you had guys like Flair understood the psychology behind that. Shawn Michaels, like you said, and then now Seth and Edge is another one because he changed his whole in-ring style since coming back from the injury.
But Edge bothers me because he keeps changing. They're switching him too much.
Yeah.
he was a heel. He was a face. He was a heel again. He's a face. Now he's a heel again. And like we were talking about earlier, he's never played the heel role he's playing now. Like
he's never been the leader.
Right.
Yeah.
He's used to being that heel that like comes in and makes cheap jokes about the town you're like the city you're in and like, oh, this trash, Norfolk, Virginia, you like that doesn't work when you're supposed to be like a Ministry of Darkness type leader. Like Undertaker didn't give a fuck about what city he was in. He was just worried about fucking shit up. Like
so now he has that role. You know,
even CM Punk when he had the whole cult of personality persona, like he was not concerned about like he might have like here and there like said some shit because that's just him as a person, but like he won't worried about what city you were in and like putting the fans down.
Nah, you make a very excellent point because now that I think about it, anytime that when Edge had his biggest heel runs, they were always, as you said, as the ultimate opportunist, the guy who would get cheap heat from making fun of the city or making fun of another wrestler and just doing those things. But in his role now, it's like you can't really, you have to do something different.
His best heel work, in my opinion, was when him and Vicky were together.
Yeah.
Like,
Familia.
that feud with
and then he had
with
the
Undertaker.
Edgeheads.
What was that WrestleMania 22?
Yeah, and you had the Edgeheads with him at the time.
I want to say it was 26 or 27, but
yeah, because it was he has what Zach like who do you have?
Kurt Hawkins is
Kurt Hawkins
Yeah,
and Zack
Ryder
Ryder.
Hawkins,
Yeah.
yeah, but I feel like that was his best. That was his best heel run. Because during that time he was world champion and like had some great matches with the Undertaker.
yes.
He had his feud with Ric Flair. That was it was short, but it was a good feud, you know.
And honestly, now that I'm thinking about like all of his runs as a heel, I think that La Familia would probably be the best one because I will be the first person to admit I did not like his heel run when it was him and Lita for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But
They push them.
yeah. I mean, granted, he got the heat that he wanted, but still, it was like, I don't know, because that's just, the way that thing just went down. But, you know, personal feelings aside, I mean, I guess it made for a good heel run, because obviously people felt ways about him and Lita being together. Mm-hmm. So, there's that. But as far as current WWE superstars who will probably be at the top of the card, I was surprised to find that that Vince had said that Ricochet was like the top 2 babyface on SmackDown. And I'm just like, all them losses that Ricochet took.
I'm so glad he's finally getting a rub.
Yeah,
like,
finally.
He does not need to be in the main titles picture at all. He is cruising where he's at. No pun intended.
And also, Vince knows that if he goes anywhere else, that's somebody else's money maker. Like right off, you know, like if he goes to New Japan, he already knows that he's gonna make millions.
And then Ricochet also brings them a lot of publicity from outside of the ring too, with him with up, down, down, left, right. Like like he is like one of the people that Austin Theory, aka Xavier Woods, just not Austin Theory, Austin Creed. And aka Xavier Woods really just like that's one of the main people. So like, man, I'm just really interested to see what's about to happen, because I have no idea what they're about to do with Roman right now, because like I think it's too early to start the Drew McIntyre feud. Because Clash of the Castle is where that should be, but like I just don't know where they're going right now. Like.
Yeah, I think after WrestleMania, they're pretty much just like, it's a reset in the truest sense. Mm-hmm. They're going back to, okay, well, where can we start and how are we going to end up finishing this? So, and Xavier Woods actually made a good point about this in when he came back. He was just like, hey, after WrestleMania, this is like a new season. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see what WWE has in store, especially with competition, at least with AEW, is getting bigger. Yeah. And I had heard that like some of the tickets for Forbidden Door, like the minute that they went on sale, they were sold out. So that's gonna be interesting to see when that happens.
AEW need to, like, they gotta watch out for AEW.
Definitely, because they got too many partnerships. Impact, New Japan. They bought Ring of Honor, so it's like the territories back in the day.
AEW's downfall is they got too many people sitting in catering.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's true. But I think people look at it the wrong way. I don't think AEW will affect WWE. I don't think WWE will affect AEW. If you're really a true wrestling fan, you're gonna watch it all because you're excited about the fact that you can watch wrestling Monday, you can watch wrestling Tuesday, you watch Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every day you can cut on TV and there's gonna be some form of wrestling.
If there's a premium event,
like,
you got Sunday.
Isn't that what we wanted? You know?
Yeah.
No, it's exactly what
and also everybody gets a chance to do what they love because like you have like you said, you have Impact, Ring of Honor,
right,
AEW, NWA Power, New Japan,
AAA.
Yeah, AAA. So like and then this is where I always get offended. Everybody's like, "That's a WWE guy." When guys started like in AAA, New Japan,
right?
It's like they don't expect anybody to wrestle anywhere else.
And that's crazy.
It's it's just like how some of your WWE superstar, your favorite WWE superstar legends, were WCW guys. Like
what's that? I mean, you know, if any sport you watch, you know,
right?
You see people go to different teams all the time.
It's a
football
business.
And basketball.
Yeah,
you know?
At the end of the day, it's a
You're
business.
You're not supposed to play there. Like, I'm making money.
Making money.
Making money.
Yeah,
facing new people.
Like
say, you can work anywhere you want to for new challenges. They can too.
That's a fact. I hate when people try to hold a loyalty to one thing, and it's just like,
so you hate
come
Vince
on, man.
McMahon.
There are things that they both can do. I mean, like fans is what I'm talking about.
Come from, but
you can watch every single one of these shows and find something that you're gonna watch. You may not like one promotion particularly more than the other, but there's not one promotion you gonna put on and you gonna say I don't like any of this. I just don't see that. Even Impact to me has some matches that you'll watch and you'll go, yo, these are some pretty good. You know, these are some pretty good matches that's happening.
They just had the Briscoes win the tag titles on Impact. You know,
Sad,
like that's
man.
something to watch. You know,
I'm always tuning in.
I completely missed that.
I'm always tuning in for Good Brothers.
Yeah, they beat Violent by Design to win the Impact tag titles.
Okay.
So, and that's because, and they went to Impact because Zach at AEW was like he didn't like something that a comment one of them made years ago.
Oh, was it like a homophobic comment?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was done years ago. So.
Yeah, I can see why that happened.
About that?
Yeah.
Not necessarily that in particular. If you make a comment that's, you know, offensive toward a certain group of people, should you not be allowed to gain information and one, change your stance, and two, continue to move forward in what you're doing?
I think you're allowed to grow. And I think because, as everyone has stated, you know, at certain points you're going to be ignorant about certain communities, and there's always opportunities to grow. As far as being punished for it, well, I guess it just really depends on the scope of what you said.
No, I agree.
I honestly, it really just boils down to that, because if I'm like, you know, if I have a feel certain way about someone who is Asian, and I'm making a comment, but it wasn't like an offensive comment. It was just one of those things that people might look at me like, hey, maybe I need to teach you about why this is wrong. And it's like, okay, you know, I backtrack. Whereas if I, you know, go out and say, you sea-eyed motherfucker, or some dumb shit like that, at that point, you know, I'm pretty much setting myself up for failure at that point, regardless.
Now, what about in the aspect of comedy? Because, like, you know, you make a joke in comedy these days, they're ready to cancel you because you made the comment. But it's all in jokes. Back in the day, we would have laughed. We would have laughed at all that and just been like, okay, cool, he made fun. But
yeah,
no,
I agree with what you're saying. It's just I also think it's kind of difficult in certain aspects as well, though, because I think even back then when people were making those jokes, like even when you look at a lot of Eddie Murphy stuff, he used to talk about homosexual people a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was offending a lot of people, but the fact that people just weren't so open, about their sexuality back then, we just didn't know that it was really hurting people.
Yeah.
So I think in that regard, that's kind of hard. I feel like anytime you make fun of someone for something they can't control, it's wrong.
Yeah.
But when you make fun of someone for something they can control, it's funny. Like,
but I also feel like
dude, if you make fun of someone for being fat, that's something I feel like you can control. It's funny.
Here's my thing about
Chris Rock
that.
should have got slapped.
Huh?
So Chris Rock should have got slapped.
Well, I don't think he should have got smacked. This is why. I don't think he should have gotten smacked. He made a G.I. Jane joke. Now, I'm not glorifying the joke, but it's difficult for me. Like I said, for me, I'm not Jada's husband or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. There would have been a conversation we would have had to have, but I don't think I would have smacked him in that moment.
Yeah.
Directly when that happened. Now, I might have smacked him when we got off camera, or I might have cussed him out when we got off camera, or pulled him to the side and like, yo, bro, what the fuck you doing? Like, come, or even if he, I didn't even have an issue with him sitting there screaming, don't,
keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I didn't have no problem with any of that shit. I just felt like in that moment when he got up there and did that, I ain't saying it was wrong. I'm just saying it's not something I would have did.
Yeah,
I don't think he's wrong at all.
I just don't like
defend your wife.
I just don't like that that man got banned for that, and they're
That's
literal
bull. Yeah, that's
rapists that
That's
get
bull.
awards every year.
That's bull.
And,
there were black people who couldn't even go to that show, and some of the people who prohibited.
And
them
the
from
only
going
reason,
to it
and let's
didn't
be
punish
honest, the only reason why we do the Oscars were going on that night was because Will
Of the
Smith
smack.
smacked
Yes.
Chris Rock.
Nah, it's bull, man.
So
It's
next
bull.
year we're gonna be
Because
like,
even
who's
even
getting
Keah,
punched?
who watches movies, like she has a degree in entertainment, like in that visual entertainment field. When I told her that the smack happened, well, she told me that the smack happened, but it was like she didn't even realize that I corrected myself. Fix your face. But when she told me the smack happened, she didn't even realize that the Oscars were on that night because she said she usually watches it, and it was just that she saw. You said you saw it on Twitter. He got smacked,
That's
and
where I saw it.
yeah.
I was watching it live.
They don't even go to them things in consecutive years. That's the other piece of it.
Yeah.
I think the main reason why they did was because Will was up for the award for Best Actor, so that's the main reason they went.
And
That
then
was
now,
my thing.
we can't even celebrate his accomplishment because the only thing we remember from that night.
That's the
Do y'all
smack.
think he really should be losing out on all these movie roles? And
No.
stuff?
Nah, because there was others that
If
did
Amber
much worse.
Heard is able to shit in a bed and it still is an Aquaman 2 for right now. Will Smith.
I'll tell you what I did do after that. I ordered his book, Will Smith's. I want to read it. I really want to read his book after all that. I want to know what's going on with Will, man.
He being abused at home.
Damn
I
it.
don't think physically.
Boy,
but
man,
mentally,
if we find out Jada's been doing some stuff that Amber Heard's been doing,
And the
I
fact,
swear,
and the
bro.
fact that now
Is
they're
Jada pooping in Will's bed?
Nah, man.
We don't know. We
Hey,
don't
look, I don't know
know.
how true it
I don't
is.
see no black women pooping
Hey, I don't
in
know
the
how
bed.
true it is, but apparently your girl Jada been faking the whole alopecia thing. Don't know how
I
true
don't
it
want
is.
to. Let's not speak on that.
I saw. I'm not gonna
We
speak
don't
on it,
know.
but I read an
We
article.
don't know. I know what you're referring
Yeah.
to. I seen
Oh,
it too.
wow.
But
I
let's
saw
not,
it too.
Let's not speak on it because that's not something that I want us to have
Right.
to go back and redact.
Right. I don't want to
But
yeah.
I read what you read too, and when they were talking about the hair follicle, it's just not-
So if it turns out she does not have alopecia,
And then on top of that, what makes it worse is they were talking about like the whole thing was making fun of people with conditions, and he has what was it, Asperger's? Yeah, he has
Asperger's.
Chris Rock.
Really?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like he's socially he's socially like he doesn't know how to read social cues. That's the reason why he was also confused that he got smacked. So now you have a person who potentially did what they did along with smacking an autistic person.
Damn.
Could that be why he's losing all these roles?
That's what
That
I think
could
is
be
more
it,
so towards
yeah.
that. Yeah, that was like Jada
Damn.
let her stuff know the week before, and he reported that 2018.
But then I have a question.
I think I
You
know
as
where
a
you're
black
going.
man made a movie about black women's hair.
But yeah, you made the
And then
joke
you
about
made
a black
this joke.
woman's hair.
Like, come on, man. Like, that was my other piece too.
Yeah.
Like,
he
but we can't determine how someone else perceives a joke. Like,
but we
piece
can't
to it.
determine how you intend it. Like, because like the joke was intended as a GA
at the
joke.
same time, I can make a joke about you and intend it a certain way. That don't mean you gonna receive it that
That's
way.
true. But like but I could
No,
but,
I already said he didn't have a right to hit that man.
but the same argument could be like I could say I like your outfit today. But
Yeah,
that
I
could be
also
me
take that as you talking
shit about
making
also
fun of
you didn't like my outfit the other day. Yeah.
No,
So,
not even that. I can take it as you just saying it. You can say I like your outfit today in a way in which you're teasing me about it too.
should we just not say anything nowadays with
Trey,
the
I already
risk?
told you I don't say anything.
Well, one thing
I
we
held
can.
the door for someone once, and she blew up at me, and I was like, I hold the door for men too. Like, I just was trained to hold the door. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I got cussed
So you was
out
just
once
holding the
for-
door because she was a woman?
I got cussed out before for just
hold the
asking
door.
if they looked like they were struggling, like a woman was struggling carrying her stuff. And she said, because I'm a woman. But the bad part was she took 3 steps and then dropped everything. And I was like,
But were you doing it because she's a woman, or you?
no, I was doing it because she looked like she was about to drop it.
Like,
she
that's
could
different.
do it.
You were being genuine. See,
Yeah,
She could do it. She
you were being
said,
genuine. But I don't know, man.
Like with me,
said I'm
just
strong.
like there are certain things like because like
Right.
I know there are certain things where like because like me personally I don't just how I was raised I don't like seeing women have to do manual labor.
yeah.
So like, but I do understand. Like for example, Keah is like by no stretch of imagination am I a handyman in the house. Like literally, you can who switched the faucet, who changed the lighting stuff. Keah did all that. I don't know how to do any of that shit. But my whole thing is like, you know, I respect her, and I'm not doing things because she's a woman. But I do have to understand that just because I might have a positive intention doesn't mean that it's going to be received
No, that's real.
in the spirit that I'm trying to give it.
But at the same time, we often compare gender roles to the times in like the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me when we do those things because, you know, I looked up a while ago. I don't even think I looked it up. I think I saw it on Twitter. They were saying that women weren't allowed to have bank accounts until like 1975.
That's
This
true.
is very
Yeah, it's
true.
true.
Do you know that's not a long time ago?
It's
That
not.
was 30,
40.
I mean,
It's a little over 40 years
Some
ago.
years ago.
40.
Yeah.
Right, but
47
so when we
years ago.
talk about how women, you know, well, back in the day, women weren't complaining about this and women wasn't.
They weren't allowed to.
I mean, would
And they
you
didn't have a
complain if
platform.
you knew that you had to work a job and all your money was gonna go to him? Like, would you complain if you knew
Or-
he had all the control?
Or
of the
taking
money?
it deeper than that, they were complaining they just didn't have a platform. Like they weren't allowed to hold public office. There was no social media, so they couldn't
Right.
speak out.
Can't vote.
Like anything that was said had to go through the husband. So like they very like the women like how women feel now could have been how they felt 100
that's
years
true.
ago. It's just that we just don't know because
Or we just finding out.
it's just like how black people.
That's very true.
It's just like how as soon as black people learn about education and they realize, yo, this shit's wrong.
Right.
We've been speaking out about it for years, but
Bro.
why is it still that we're still having first blacks in 2020 something?
Yo,
Yeah.
no, that's real.
Yes.
But
First
Basic
women
things.
and like Norfolk. Congratulations to the drum major, but Norfolk State just got their first woman drum major.
yeah.
And it's
That's
like,
wild.
and it's like, and it's just like, and the fact that I just found out in conversation with y'all today, like I don't know if the announcement was made recently, but like that should be a bigger news than what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's true. There was big news made about it when FAMU had their first.
But there was a lot of backlash from
that.
that.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of backlash with
And
this.
I think
Yeah.
she didn't finish the season out
Nah, she didn't.
because of all
she
the
didn't.
because of
Yeah,
all the
she
comments was
lasted
getting.
until like half the season and,
and
then
she
quit.
and she
yeah.
relinquished the position. And I think she left the university. If I
Yeah,
remember
she did.
correctly.
She transferred out.
See, that's why I know we had our first at Livingstone in 2000. The band director got
I know
fired.
Hampton's first.
Yeah, we were gonna.
Personally.
They were gonna fold the entire
Hampton's
program.
first was 90.
Tamara, what's her name?
Yeah.
She comments on everything. She's a sweetheart. TBS.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in
I
the
can't
90s.
remember. I can't remember
But I
the
see
exact
her
year, but I
face.
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it was,
picturing
it
the
was
face.
in the 90s, which is, once again, not that long
Right.
ago. You know, and so that right there is just like, it's still like wow. It's like wow. It's like
Yeah, I thought you grabbed my MD 2020. I was like, oh, this is the energy we're on. I just heard the glass. I was like, oh.
Heard a bottle opening.
No, it's just that I was like,
I saw the color of it.
She drinks top tier alcohol.
Word. Okay, like yeah.
Like she does not drink
you
man,
under the
dog.
table.
She drinks MD 4040. She was like,
Right.
did we ever look up why it's 2020? We started to, and then we got distracted.
I don't know. I just know that the name of the wine company is called Mogan David, which is why I refer to it as such.
I guess it's because it might be because it's clear, or maybe the original was clear.
Maybe it's because I can't see 2020 when I finish the bottle.
That too.
Hey,
Or maybe the original was clear. You could see through it.
Or maybe it mean the last time I should have drunk this shit was in 2020. I don't know why the fuck I'm drinking it in 2022. I'm like, I'm pushing 30 and I'm sitting here drinking.
I'm glad. I feel
shoot,
good.
bro. Oh, man, damn, I'm gonna be 31 on Tuesday. That's crazy. By the time y'all hear this, my birthday would have already been passed.
Hey.
But damn.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm
And
32, so
You know what?
I'll tell you, it
I
just
got
feels like 30.
I was about to say, you know what?
I got
Fuck all of
I
you.
got a middle finger for all of you.
Al is like, I'm 73.
No, I'm not
like
that
30.
much.
But Al, I be forgetting that. Like, I really be forgetting that you're so much older.
Like,
Yeah,
the only thing that I started to wear, like in my 30s, I thought that, I was like, when I was in my 20s, I was like, man, that's old. Like, I'm so close to dying. And then I was like, I'm going to be so worried about dying. And then I got in my 30s, and I wasn't really thinking about dying. I just know one day I'm going to wake up, and one of my locks may not be in my head anymore. That's the only thing I think about.
I pray.
That's the only thing I think about. It's will I go bald today?
As the guy with no locks in the room,
With the baldy.
I can only say
I
that
had to remind myself that like earlier today we were talking about a person and how they're a chartering member of our fraternity. I had to remind myself that you too are a charter member of and you hang out with us.
But I will say this: I still get questions about how old I am because a lot of people think that I'm still in my late 20s or my early 30s.
When you rock the baldy, instead of having the jacked up hairline and stuff happening, it makes you look younger.
Because I learned from Jordan.
That's a fact. Was it 93 when he shaved his mouth off?
Yeah, like him, Clyde Drexler, and all them guys. Like Clyde Drexler was like a
You
rookie,
hear that, LeBron?
and he was like 25
You
and
hear
was
that,
balding.
Kevin?
I was like, nah.
LeBron should have been.
You hear that, Chris?
They
They
was
should
like,
have
nah.
gave it up, but I don't know why.
Look, man, why won't Kevin Durant comb his hair?
He need to go on
Why
ahead
does
and cut it.
Kevin Durant have hair?
Why does Kevin Durant not put lotion on his ankles? I mean, we can ask these questions.
Look, I ain't gonna fall
And
I
these
don't put
questions
lotion on my ankles.
Going back to that comment.
But I wear pants to work. He does not. He wears shorts.
Shorts.
You know what I'm saying? He could afford some jergens. That's
That's what I'm saying. Like, you mean to tell me that I don't see ashy? Like, I know broke niggas that are ashy. This nigga
some
makes
tiger ball, you know?
Shea butter, right.
Some shea
I
butter.
think that's a good way to close this.
That really is.
Kevin Durant's
Ashy ankles. Man got more money than I would ever see in my entire lifetime. You mean to tell me you can't get one bottle of Vaseline or one bottle of Jergens or
That man be getting
one
that.
bottle of Gold Bond?
That man be getting that top shelf. That man can afford that top shelf Target lotion.
Yeah, that Top Shelf Tiger lotion is $5.
Meanwhile, I had to pickpocket allegedly from the travel section.
From the travel.
Me and Keah are currently collecting floor samples to replace our floor.
You are. You don't want to incriminate both of them.
But nah, we gotta make sure we do this.
man.
We gotta make sure we do this on a more regular basis, man. It's important that black-owned businesses, because that's what we are, black-owned businesses, black creators. It is very, very, very important that us black creators support each other. So, our listeners, if you haven't already, check out Chaotic Culture. We'll tag them when we post this episode. And We will explain why we have been missing when we have our first episode with just us back. But
He will. I'm not.
It'll be legendary.
We will just have an episode for you all. Start
Just
making
gonna move forward.
Yeah, we're gonna move forward. The hashtag the return part 2. So, but yeah, like as always, like we know KJ gonna close it out the way that he want to, but like as we always say, peace and chicken grease.
Peace and blessings, beautiful people.
Cheerio.
All right. So with that, y'all, I definitely appreciate having this double feature episode. Like, I'm so glad that we got a chance to do this combined pod episode. So with that, I'm just going to ask if there are any other black businesses that you guys want to highlight.
Let's see. I'm gonna put her on the spot so that she can stay committed to this. But little Miss KDMOFO over here is in the process of starting her business. She's trying to do some stuff, so we'll have some more stuff coming up on that. But just be on the lookout for KDMOFO. Follow her on her socials so you can watch her moves and support her visions. And I'm gonna throw this out there too. We have for any potential artists and actors and actresses out there, we have a future opportunity for you. So like I said, follow her on socials and contact her, and we can get this going.
Ma'am. Yes. I'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, and I think I've already shared that. I'm gonna join you on that. And also, I got one business I'd like to shout out real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
The good people over at T Public who hooked me up with this. If you're watch Sanford and Son, the shirt says, "I want my daddy's records."
Hey.
I think y'all know the episode that came from. So I'd like to shout out the good people at T Public. Go check them out, tpublic.com. Right.
Turn up.
Just because I'm surprised we went like a year and some change without me saying it, I would like to shout out Chickasee.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Come on, we can't talk about downtown Newport News without Chickasee.
Can't talk about the 7-5.
Man,
Right?
rest in peace to the Chestnut location, man.
Oh my gosh. But I understand why they had to
Pour
do
one
it.
out.
RMD20.
Chickasee, go by, get you a big chick, extra sauce, red drink.
Strawberry soda.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm telling you, you won't regret it. If
Word.
you don't know what we're talking about, when you come to Newport News, just ask them what Chickasee is.
All right, y'all. So I think we have come to the end. So let's go ahead and shout out the list of black businesses that we have. Starting with the podcast, of course, Mic Check, Wifey, Worst Generation Podcast, Planet Made Podcast, Alt Arc, and Dad Needs to Talk, and Animalytical. These are all anime podcasts. If you have not checked them out, please be sure that you do so. I am a Patreon subscriber to Mic Check, Worst Gen, and Blaname, so definitely shout out to them. The session with Jae and Trey, obviously. I mean, we're doing an episode together, so we obviously got to shout them out. Of course, check out Brutal Honesty with K. Renee, and also check out her books. She goes by the pen name Sedona Rose. Please be sure that you check out her novellas on Amazon Kindle. And shout out to Inside the Mind of a Blurred and the Truth and Transparency Podcast. Shout out to the boy Brother X and the Culture Scientist and Mr. Smith.
I got one more podcast to add to that. I forgot about this. My homegirl, Brittany, she has a podcast called Ish Happens Podcast. Follow her as well.
Okay, that's what's up.
Hamptonian.
Hey. Well, most of us in here are Hamptonians here. Jay is the only one that's not. So
Gang.
He's honorary Hamptonian.
Yeah.
It's honorary.
He honorary
we
Hamptonian.
keep him around us enough. All right. For the black content creators who have YouTube pages, of course, check out Black Anime, HBCU Anime, and The Tsundere. For our Twitch streamers, definitely check out Nikichi Gamer and Akatsuki Kells. For our comic book creators, definitely check out Icarus Metro Comics, another Hamptonian, and Studio Maho. For our black business shout-outs, already paid. Shout out to Dre. Shout out to my girl Christina for KSS Brand. My girl Naima for Cream Cosmetics. Another Hamptonian here, Miss Tremaine. Shout out to her business Mind Over Money. Concept Moon, my boy Strange Keith. She designs too, my girl Erin. Lit Wands, my girls Lauren and Tierra. And of course, H4 Creative by my girl Zenobia. All right, what's up?
Also, we got to shout out as educators. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week to all the teachers out there.
Yeah, this past
Yes.
I hope that everyone enjoyed it. I hope that somebody told you they appreciate you. And I also found out it's very ironic. Two very undersupported career professions share a week. Happy Nurses Week as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Nurses don't get the credit they deserve.
They really don't.
Teachers
Especially
don't get the
these
credit
past
they
2
deserve.
years
It's
with
crazy
this damn
we share a
pandemic.
week.
Yeah.
But yes, I wanted us to shout out all the nurses out there. Happy Nurses Week. Like I said, you guys work so hard. I remember when we were in the hospital, having our son, the nurses would do things like come in the middle of the night, take the baby with them so we could try to get some sleep for a couple hours, making sure that we got extra food and things like that. Just things they did not have to do that don't fall within their job description, but they did it anyway just to make it easier on us. So shout out to all the nurses. Shout out to all the educators. We really appreciate you guys.
Definitely, man. Especially our black educators, and it's really a difficult job that y'all have to do. So I'm so glad because we definitely got educators here with us. So because we got 2 educators that are doing this pod, and it's 3.
Right.
Yeah, because and being a black educator, especially black male educator, you don't see a lot of us out there. So I really appreciate you guys for doing what y'all do. On top of the fact that with everything going on with the whole CRT bullshit, which is really just a signal for, we don't want to teach the real history of this country. But that's another story for another time.
Right.
I'm just glad that y'all are still able to, be in this field and just are able to do what you do. So we definitely appreciate y'all. With that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Chaotic Culture Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook at Chaotic Culture Podcast. You can also follow us on Twitter at Chaotic_Culture and on Instagram at Chaotic Culture Pod. Please be sure that you subscribe to the Patreon account. That's patreon.com/Chaotic Culture Pod at any of the 4 levels. It does not matter which one. And we definitely appreciate your support. You can also support us through the Anchor app. That's anchor.fm. And again, /Chaotic Culture Pod. You can follow me, Keah the Pro. That's K3D the Pro on all social media. You can follow my co-host, who is actually not here, Law, on Instagram at L.JR_96. And you can follow him on Twitter at Law96_. You can follow my other co-host, Ms. Nasa, on all social media at _call me Nasa. Please be sure that you also follow the session with Jae and Trey. How can they follow you guys?
Excuse me. All right, so the Twitter is session 9, right?
Session 9.
Session 9, and then the Instagram is the session _757_. So follow us on social. You can find us on all podcast streaming platforms, and we're working on coming up with some other avenues to reach out to you all. So we got some big things planned to move us up to the next level. So just keep up with your boys. You can follow me at Affinity for Music. That's APHINITY. The number 4 music MUZIK. And you want to shout your social?
You can follow me at the Clayco Hero. That's the same on Instagram and on Twitter.
Okay. Showboat, did you have anything that you wanted to say, or did you want people to follow you on?
Let's see. Everybody can follow me at Fit Percussion on Instagram. And as an educator, just to follow up on everybody say, thank an educator. Please do. Thank an educator.
Oh shoot! One more thing, man. Definitely shout out to you for coming back to the Hampton family, man. We definitely appreciate Showboat here. He is going to be an arranger and a percussion tech for Sticky Situation. Yes. So definitely glad that I am not the old head that's there anymore. They're gonna have someone that actually has rank over me. So
and shout out to all the college grads. There's been a bounce these past few weeks.
Yes.
And happy Mother's Day, like today of recording. So shout out to you, Mommy.
Yes.
Love you.
Happy Mother's Day, Valerie.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day, Melody.
Happy Mother's Day, Chorus.
Happy Mother's Day, Laverta.
Happy Mother's Day, mother-in-law, dear the Lolo. For sure, you even know that.
Happy Mother's Day to my mother-in-law.
I don't have a mother-in-law, but happy Mother's Day to my grandma, Jeanette.
Hey.
So definitely got to shout her out as well. I will call both of you on my birthday, actually, because I have that day off. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys here. Thank you.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to the joint episode of Chaotic Culture Podcast and the session with Jae and Trey. And this has been another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. Remember, embrace the culture. Chaos rules. Be blessed. Be safe. God is love. Deuces.
Look, it's chaos in these streets, so let's talk about it, please. Let's hold some conversation. You see where I'm coming from. Yes, it's so amazing. Go ahead, get comfortable. You can grab a seat, take a load off your feet. Yeah, welcome to the table. We don't tell no lies over here. This ain't no fable. We just live our lives over here. We ain't no angels. We just shine our light over here. We got the power. We just showing love over here. Cause everybody needs some, yeah. And we don't need a reason. Everybody